The king of Grizaritsa Kingdom summons Miru Mitsuki from Japan to another world to test him for a power known as pure concept. When the king summons another Japanese girl, while he is thrown out of the castle, Mitsuki is taken aback. He meets a priestess named Menu who explains that throughout history, people from Japan with powers known as Lost Ones have been summoned in such large numbers that Japanese culture has taken over the world. She also explains that society is divided between the nobility, the nobles, and the church, the Faust, in addition to the commoners. Mitsuki discovers that his pure concept is highly destructive in nature. As he investigates his power, Menu kills him instantly, revealing that she is a church assassin who specializes in assassinating lost ones before they can cause harm to the world. She informs Archbishop Orwell of Mitsuki's successful assassination, as well as the existence of the second Lost One, the girl summoned after Mitsuki. In a flashback, a Lost One destroys Menu's village before being assassinated by Flare, the assassin who trained Menu. Momomanu's aide is completely enamored with her. Soldiers attack, revealing that the king intends to use the girl's incredibly powerful pure concept to overthrow the church and rule without them. Menu assassinates the soldiers and then infiltrates the castle where Akari Takito, a Japanese girl, is being held captive. Before Menu can assassinate Akari, she reveals that her pure concept is a healing ability. Upon Akari's death, however, her power activates, revealing it to be the pure concept of time, and it reverts her body to before her death, reviving her with no awareness that she had just died. When she contacts Orwell, she reveals that Akari's power renders her invulnerable to assassination. Orwell, fearful of a pure concept that manipulates time, demands that Akari be brought to her in Grarm within 3 days for a ceremony that is supposed to heal her. Menu discovers Akari to be a scatterbrain but also yearning for adventure. She persuades her that the ceremony will return her to Japan, but Akari is disappointed because she believes she met Menu by chance. King Grazarika is detained by the church for heresy. Momo is irritated that Menu has to spend time with a target and insists on accompanying them to Grarm in secret. Menu warns Akari not to use her power, but she uses it almost immediately to heal a young girl's injured hand, forcing Menu to divert the attention of nearby royal soldiers. Akari is awestruck by Menu's abilities. On the same train to Grarm, Momo notices Grisharika's warlike daughter Ashuna. Menu feels sorry for Akari because she is about to die. The terrorists want to trade Ashuna for their imprisoned leader. Momo discovers Momo is on her way to the train's roof when she runs into Ashuna, who attacks her because she recognizes Momo as a priestess and deduces that her intended victim, Akari, is on board. As the ether crystals they swallowed earlier absorb their bodies and craft an armored warrior to destroy the train, the defeated terrorists reveal their mission was a suicide mission. During their fight, Momo and Ashuna both fall off the train. The train's engine is damaged, causing it to speed up uncontrollably. Menu, Ashuna, and Momo have a strong sense of déjà vu, and Menu is joined by Akari who expresses her concern. Then, Momo defeats the warrior, then punishes Akari for putting herself in danger by forcing her to fight defensively with more power. Menu, realizing she does not have enough power to stop the train, is forced to borrow it from Akari, leaving them exhausted but ecstatic. When Momo's duel with Ashuna drags on into the next morning with no end in sight, she becomes irritated. Menu cannot shake the uneasy feeling that the train did crash and kill everyone on board, including herself, implying that Akari must have sped up time for the entire world and saved everyone. Menu recalls her childhood after being rescued by Flare. As Menu and Nakari continue their journey to Grarm, Menu has lost all of her desires and motivations as a result of having her soul bleached due to her village's destruction, and she only feels compelled to follow Flare wherever she goes. Despite Flare's warnings that executioners like her are villains, Menu decides to become Flare's apprentice after witnessing Flare killing numerous lost ones. Flare is intrigued by Menu's sudden determination and decides to train her to be an exact replica of her. Menu and Flare arrive at Grarm in the present, and Akari requests that Menu take her on a date and show her around the city. Meanwhile, Orwell greets the two girls at the cathedral, stating that the special chamber will be ready in 2 days. Menu is tasked with investigating the mysterious disappearances of young girls. In the meantime, Menu entrusts the investigation to Momo, who managed to elude Ashuna so that she can keep her promise to Akari to go on a date. Menu and Akari spend more time together before entering the special chamber where Menu prepares to witness Akari's death. Meanwhile, Momo continues to look into the disappearance of the women and follows a lead into the sewers. She meets Ashuna there, who suggests they form a temporary alliance to figure out what is going on beneath Grarm. The two girls discover a summoning chamber beneath the palace, proving that the nobles of Grarm are involved in summoning. However, Ashuna points out that the nobles lack the ability to summon, which is only available to the Faust, implying that a high-ranking Faust is working with them. Before she and Ashuna are attacked by monsters, Momo realizes that the only person capable of such a thing is Orwell, and she sends a warning to Menu. Menu attempts to disrupt the ritual but is apprehended by Orwell, who explains that she intends to use the chamber to erase Akari's mind so that she can use her pure concept to reverse her aging and become immortal. Before Akari was summoned, Orwell was, in fact, responsible for the missing women, as she was attempting to use them in failed youth experiments. Orwell summons a monster to attack Menu in order to use her as a sacrifice to power the ritual. Akari's feelings for Menu break down a mental barrier just as she is about to be sacrificed, allowing her to consciously use her pure concept to its full potential before willingly erasing her conscious knowledge of her power. Momo goes berserk after one of the monsters she and Ashuna are fighting destroys her hair ribbons, which were a gift from Menu, and then attacks Orwell's cathedral, allowing Akari to rejoin Menu. Menu activates Akari's pure concept, which super-ages Orwell to death, and Ashuna departs. Menu and Akari, on the other hand, have disturbing visions of their future together, in which Akari unwittingly kills Menu after the latter fails to kill her. Before that happens, Akari wishes for Menu, and only Menu, to kill her. Menu realizes that the visions are actually flashbacks from the future and that Akari has used her pure concept to rewind time by several months after she killed Menu, causing Akari to forget their time together. Menu takes Akari to the sanctuary, which is ostensibly a Lost Ones enclave. They make a pit stop in Libel, a port city where one of the major human errors, the pandemonium, manifested and was contained. The city is also a base for the Fourth, a group that includes the city's ruler, Count Libel, and his daughter, Manon, and has a deadly feud with Flair. The Fourth decide to assassinate Menu after learning of her presence in town, fearing that she might interfere with their current plans. Meanwhile, Menu plans to kill Akari by drugging her and sending her through the fog wall that separates the pandemonium from the rest of the world, but Akari's power activates again, causing her to return to Menu's side. Furthermore, Menu's resolve is eroding as she begins to develop feelings for Akari. Meanwhile, Manon leads a young girl into an Iron Maiden-like device that harvests her blood. Menu returns to Libel with Akari after the failed attempt to trap her in the pandemonium, only to be ambushed by members of the Fourth. The assailants are defeated and apprehended, but Manon forces them to transform into monsters to prevent them from divulging any secrets. The other members of the Fourth confront Manon, as Monstrin is supposed to be an addictive and euphoric substance that they can sell to fund their operations and hold people hostage by threatening to turn them into monsters if they do not pay up. Manon reveals that she secretly slipped Monstrin into their food, forcing them to obey her orders as she pursues her revenge plans against Menu for her mother's death. Pastor Silica assigns Menu the task of stopping the production of Monstrin in exchange for travel funds. Momo starts looking into the source of the Monstrin and runs into Ashuna, who is also looking into the Fourth. Menu is able to secure an invitation to a ball that Manon is hosting, but she is forced to bring Akari along because she insists on going. Menu uses the ball to infiltrate Libel Island in search of evidence linking Manon to Monstrin production, but she is challenged to a duel by Ashuna. Menu fights Ashuna out of necessity and manages to evade her, but she misses her chance to scout the castle. Meanwhile, Akari regains her memories and notices that events in this timeline differ significantly from those in the previous one. Manon then approaches her and informs her that she is aware that Akari is a lost one. Akari follows Manon, determined to figure out why the timelines have diverged. Momo infiltrates the Monstrin manufacturing facility and discovers the girl inside the Iron Maiden. However, this sets off an explosive trap, rendering Momo unconscious due to a poison spike. Menu requests that the authorities surround Libel Island after learning of Momo's discovery, as they now have enough evidence linking Manon and the Fourth to Monstrin production. As the authorities lay siege to the island, Akari confronts Manon in the hopes of eliciting information from her. Watch this next video.